day, everyone. So now I'm going to discuss all about industrialization spread. Industrialization spread. So the industrialization that begins in Great Britain spreads to other parts of the world. So you have the industrial development and United States. So US has natural and labor resources needed to industrialize. Manufacturing towns spring up ground factories across the country. So clothing and shoemaking industries soon mechanize. Industrialization picks up during post-Civil War. We have the technology boom and cities like Chicago expand rapidly due to location on railroad lines and small companies merge to form larger, powerful companies. So you have the continental Europe industrializes. So we have the troubles in continental Europe. So first we have the Revolution and Napoleonic Wars disrupted early 19th century. So ang Napoleonic Wars, kay mo siya ang series of wars between Napoleonic France and Europe. So you have the beginnings in Belgium when in terms of industrialization. So has iron ore, coal, and water transportation. So British workers smuggled in machine, plants, and starts companies in 1799. So Germany industrializes. So political, economic barriers, but industry railroads boom by mid-century. So Bohemia developed spinning. So northern Italy mechanized with the use of textiles or silk. So the industrialization in France more measured. So agriculture remains strong. So the impact of industrialization. So the rise of global inequality. So wealth gap widens and non-industrialized countries fall behind. So European nations with the US, Japan exploit colonies for resources, and imperialism spread due to need for raw materials and markets. We have the transformation of society. So Europe and the US gained economic power. So African and Asian economies lagged based on agriculture crops. So the rise of the middle class strengthens democracy, calls for social reforms. So next we're going to talk about reforming the industrial world. So we have the introduction. So in industrialized countries, there was a wide gap between rich and the poor. So it is because due to invasion of labor and capital. So capital tend to accumulate excessive profits derived from other economic activities. So resulting in a higher disparity of income, wealth. So we have the reformers wanted government to play an active role to improve the condition for the poor. So business leaders wanted the government to stay out of their affairs. So we have the philosophers of industrialization. We have the laissez-faire economic. So kani siyang philosophy or philosophers yung nag-promote yung siyang economic policy of not interfering with business. So next we have si Adam Smith. So the defender of free markets and the author of The Wealth of Nation. He also believes that economic liberty guarantees economic progress. So we have the economist of capitalism. So nadiri si Thomas Malthus and David Ricardo both laissez-faire of capitalism. So kang laissez, as what I've mentioned earlier, mao to siya ang kaning economic policy of not interfering with business. So, ang capitalism di ay kay a system of privately owned businesses seeking profits. So, kani si Malthus think population grow faster than food supply. So, wars and epidemics kill of extra people and or misery and poverty resulted. So, we have the rise of socialism. So, utilitarianism, we have the Jeremy Bentham's utilitarianism, judge things by their usefulness. So, si John Stuart Mill, so, favor siya sa regulation nga makihelp ang workers and spread wealth. We have the utopian ideas. So, Robert Owen, he improves workers' condition. mag-rent og cheap housing. So, we have the socialism. So, ang socialism, kay mo ni siya ang factors of production are owned and operated by the states for the people. So, ang socialist, kay mo ni siya ang think government control can end poverty and bring equality. So, Marxism, the radical socialism. So, Marxism prophet, mo ni sila si Karl Marx. So, si Karl Marx, a German journalist, proposes a radical socialism. Socialism, or the Marxism. So, ang si Friedrich Engels, or a German whose father owns a Manchester textile mill. So, the Communist Manifesto. So, si Marx and Engels believe society is divided into warring classes. So, ang warring classes na ada ang first si bourgeois or they have the employers. And the second is proletariat or the workers. So, Marx and Engels predict the workers will overthrow the owners. So, the future according to Marx. So, Marx believes that the capitalism will eventually destroy itself. So, communism is the society where people own share the means of production. So, labor unions and reform law. So, unionization. So, unions or the associations formed by laborers to work for change. So, ang kani sila kay negotiate for better pay condition with employers. So, we have the reform law. So, British US laws passed to stop the worst abuse of industrialization. So, in 1847, workday for women, children are limited to 10 hours in Britain. We have the reform movement spread. So, the abolition of slavery. So, in 1833, reformers helped end slavery in British Empire. So, na-end ang slavery sa US in the year 1865. So, while the rest of Americas na-end siya in 1888. So, the fight for women's rights. So, women pursue economic and social as early as 1847. So, naay organization nga na-found for women. Mo ni siya ang International Council for Women founded in the year 1888. So, the reform spread to many areas of life. So, in the late 1800s, so the reformers established free public schools in Europe. So, we have in the year 1850s, we have the public schools common in US, and the prison reform also sought. So, workers demand more rights and protection. So, that may end of my part. So, thank you.